Okay, you ready for the book review? It's a real short book review, but it's a book review nonetheless. It's a love-inspired series by Deb Kastner. Again, I didn't realize till I got this book that it is a Deb Kastner book. Oddly enough, I had read another Deb Kastner book just a few days ago. This one is called Her Valentine, Sherif. I thought, well, you know what? It goes with the holiday season and it's perfect. The next one I'm reading is another holiday season type of book. I think I've read it before, Love and Bloom by Arlene James, but you'll get a book review after I get done with it. I've just got into like page 30, so you should get a book review by tomorrow because there's only like 200 pages in these little ones. But anyway, let me read the back to you and then we'll read the paper clips. Oh, my mom's texting me. One moment. Okay, she was texting me about her cat. Anyway, let me read this. Cupid to the rescue. Rugged and tough Deputy Sheriff Eli Bishop isn't scared of anything, except dogs. When he's assigned a canine partner, he thinks things can't get any worse. Then he learns who will be training him. Local vet Mary Travis is sweet as sugar, but she's also Eli's ex-fiance's sister. Revealing his humiliating phobia to her is not an option. Neither is developing feelings for Mary, who's built her career around the dogs. Eli fears. When a terrible storm hits the town, Mary and Eli must find the courage to work together, save the lives, and fall in love. Serendipity Sweethearts, 3 small-town matchmakers finding Texas-sized love. Now let's go inside this wonderful book. Eli swallowed hard as Mary called for the canine to come forward. Bullet, Vulg. Bullet obeyed, coming to her heel next to Mary's left side. She scratched him under the chin. Who's my good boy? That was apparently code for at ease, for the dog bounded forward, barking playfully at a moment he approached Eli. Eli stood perfectly still, waiting for the dog to... What? Chomp off his leg? Go for his throat? He had to get over his nerves. Like yesterday. Can I touch him? Eli asked tentatively. Absolutely. He's yours, you know. Eli leaned forward and then paused. Wait, what do you mean, he's mine? Mental alarms pealed in his ears. He belongs to the police department, right? The department paid for him, yes. Good, then. For a moment, he'd had the unnerving picture of having to take the dog home with him. So now what? Now we train. Train? I thought the dog was already trained. Oh, Bullet's trained, Mary replied. Her chuckle softened, but her kindness in her gaze. I was talking about you. And it is a cute book. And with the love-inspired series, you get a Bible verse. So let's read the Bible verse. For I know the thoughts that I think towards you, says the Lord, thoughts of peace, not evil, to give you a future and a hope. Jeremiah 29:11. And like I said, there's not too many bookmarks that I've marked in this one, so don't take a deep seat. Page 84. Her attitude was frustrating, but also oddly refreshing. He'd never had a woman argue so hard against letting him take care of her. The women he usually dated were only too willing to have him wait on them hand and foot. He had to admit it was a pleasant change to spend time with someone who didn't insist on her own needs coming first. As they reached Mary's vehicle, he gently placed her on the open tailgate while he spread a blanket in the bed of the SUV. Bullet curled up underneath the tailgate and promptly went to sleep. His tennis ball was inside his mouth. Eli laid out the fare that she had packed up for them: bread, American cheese, hard salami, turkey, ham, veggies, chips, and soda. His stomach rumbled. She laughed and said, I guess you're really hungry. Hey, I had to work hard out there today. I deserve my appetite. He wrapped some ice in a dish towel and packed it around her ankle. Thank you, she whispered. That feel okay to you? It's fine. Please stop fussing over me. So what if I want to fuss over you a little bit? You're hurt. I'm here, and I'm going to take care of you. End of story. She looked away, but not before he spotted tears, her eyes awash in green. What's the matter? What can I do for you? Is it your ankle? I think I have some painkillers in the glove department. She sniffed. No, my ankle is fine. Well, thank you. You already said that. I did, didn't I? I'm starting to repeat myself, and that's never pretty. I'm sure you don't want to be stuck out here with a blubbering female. Instead of replying, Eli stacked a sandwich for her. She was right about him, about not being comfortable with her tears, but that was because he didn't know what he could do to fix her problem. He didn't even know what the problem was. If she wasn't crying because her ankle was hurting her, then why was she crying? What was wrong with her? She wasn't going to let him take her to the doctor, and frankly, he didn't know what else to do for her. He handed her a sandwich, opened a bag of chips for her, and popped the top on a soda can. Then he did the same for himself. I feel like a clumsy idiot, she admitted, brushing her shoulder-length curls back behind her ear. I really come out here all the time, and I've never had that least bit of problem before. Talk about humiliating. We all stumble once in a while. He realized he said those words out loud, and they were true, as they were for him and her both, literally and metaphorically. It's a good thing God is here to pick us up when we fall. By the way, that was at page 84, 85, 86. And in this case, I was fortunate to have you around as well. He chuckled. Anything I can do to help? If I'm not careful, I'm going to thank you again. And I know you don't want to hear it, so let's talk about you and Bullet. We're going to move on to page 168, 169. And it looks like that's... Okay. My eyes are bothering me, so excuse me. Maybe I'm tired. Oh, goodness. Well, did she? Eli grumbled. And why would you say especially to me? If you can't figure out Elijah Bishop, then you have a good deal less brain matter than I gave you credit for. Why, thank you, he replied, but hope stirred in his chest. Was he totally misreading her? Or was she implying that Mary might have tender feelings for him after all? The truth of the matter is that I'm at a complete loss. I'm the first to admit that I'm no expert when it comes to reading women, but Mary, she's just all over the place emotionally. I know it's not easy for her, being that I was once engaged to her sister Natalie, but there are moments when we really connect, and then the next thing I know, well, she's slamming doors in my face, either literally or figuratively. She's scared. Of what, me? Not you exactly, but I think she's frightened herself for her feelings for you. She doesn't want to get hurt, and she doesn't want to lose you as a friend if things don't work out between you two. But she won't lose me as a friend, Eli protested. If I have my way, we'll have much more. We'll grow closer, and that means much more to each other. And that is the scariest thing of all, because from those heights, it's a long way to fall. I think I get it, Eli said. Compassion and compulsion I can't talk tonight, I'm sorry. Simultaneously, you all know what I mean, welling in his chest. He was a man of action, not so much of a purveyor of feelings, but he wanted to fix the problem. I've got to come right out and set her straight about my own position. After Natalie, she's bound to have questions and concerns. I can put her mind at ease where my feelings for her are concerned. I simply need to be candid. That's what I've been saying all along. She punched his shoulder playfully. Go get her, cowboy. I will, he said, determined right then and there not to waste any more time. He would go find Mary and tell her the truth about everything. She didn't know about his phobia with the dog, and she didn't know about his affection for her. No, more than affection. He hadn't said those words aloud, but he was ready, and he wanted to say them directly to Mary. Now, mind you, Mary is watching her good friend talk with this man that she has feelings for, but she's scared to admit to it. So she's drawn conclusions where conclusions shouldn't be drawn, and she's jumping there. Anyway, we're going to move forward. And if you want to know more, read the book. Page 209. Here's where she comes out and basically tells him, I know you're interested in my friend, but he's a little bit slow on the pickup. Page 209. Well, Alexis's ranch... I can't talk. I'm so sorry. Alexis's ranch has a lot more room for him to run. His brow furrowed. Redemption Ranch? What does that have to do with anything? She bit the inside of her lip until her emotions were under control. She loved Eli. More than anything, she wanted him to be happy. You don't have to hide anything from me. I know how you feel about Alexis. I've seen the two of you together. You know how I feel about Alexis? She tried to smile. She really did. She was a wonderful woman. Maybe I'm just jumping the gun a little bit, but she'll make a great wife. His gaze widened and the side of his lips crept up. I'm sure she will. Mary let out a breath. It was settled then. She should feel relieved instead of what she felt like there was a million little springs all wound up inside her. Yeah, honey, but not my wife. I'm sorry, what? She couldn't have heard him correctly. I'll admit, I've been spending a lot of time with Alexis. She nodded. But she was trying to figure out how to set me up with you. You, she stammered. Her heart started racing, but her mind and her emotions couldn't simply keep up. That's right, honey, me and you. It's been that way all this time. But I thought... Wrong. Clearly communicating isn't one of my fine points. You didn't have to have a building fall on you to get to my attention, he teased, his eyes twinkling and that beautiful smile just beaming for her. I've loved you all along. She was gasping. She knew she was gasping. She couldn't seem to get her jaw to work. He had risked his own life to save her because he loved her. And oh, how she loved him. He leaned forward until his lips were inches away from his warm breath mingling with hers. I think this is the part where you say you love me too, he suggested, with a low rumble that came from deep in his throat. I love you too. Now, that wasn't so hard, was it? Never ever she would have expected to be in Eli's arm, in his heart. But that's what he'd said. That's the gleam in his eyes that repeated, and the curve of his smile as he leaned even closer. This part's not so complicated either, he whispered before covering his lips with her own, sealing their hearts together. Everybody say, "Ah." There's another paperclip, believe it or not. It's in the epilogue, and there's a Dear Reader section, so we're going to get to that too. Why did I mark this? Okay. Tears formed in her... Okay. So he gets her a present for her birthday. It's a St. Bernard. St. Bernard's got something around its neck. And we're going to start right there. Mary laughed, scooping the cuppy. What the heck's a cuppy? Okay, here we go. Mary laughed and scooped the puppy off the floor. By the way, this is page 215. Cuddling it under her chin. I figured I'd have a dog, and you have dogs, plural, but we don't have one. Tears formed in the corner of her beautiful green eyes. I don't, are you? She stammered. Alexis cut in. I said open the present and see what's inside, but she's a dog, Mary protested. How do I... Her sentence came to an abrupt halt when she noticed the jewelry box tied to the puppy's collar, almost like one of those little barrels that you see at the adult St. Bernards sometime wore. His heart in his throat. Eli stepped forward and untied the box. And then, in front of God and all of their friends, he dropped to one knee. Girls, listen to this. It's beautiful. Mary Travis, I've given you every kind of grief there is. That part's the best part. And you put up with it all. Again, another good part. I've never met a woman I've admired more. Your tenderness, your sensitivity, and most of all, your love. I would have been honored. It's one of those late nights. I would be honored if you would agree to become my wife. She only hesitated for a second. It took to shift the puppy from left arm to right. Then she offered him her hand, her heart, and her life. Ah! That is so good. Now let's read the Dear Reader part. This is the note from the author. Dear Reader, welcome back to Serendipity, Texas, where the second of the little chicks Mary Travis family has... I can't even talk tonight. Mary Travis finally has the opportunity to meet her match. Eli Bishop is a strong man with a solid faith in God, but after he faces some tough obstacles in his life experiences, he's shaken and confused. At those moments, he believes everything has fallen apart. God is actually leading him in a different and better direction. Sometimes our own life experiences gives us tunnel vision, but our Lord sees the bigger picture. Even during our most difficult moments, God is there with us, guiding us even when we have no idea where to go. In Him we have a hope and a future. I hope you enjoyed her Valentine, Sherif. I love to connect with you, my readers, in a personal way. Please look me up on my website, www.debkastnerbooks.com. If you can find my webpage or Facebook page, www.facebook.com, Deb Kastner Books, or catch me on Twitter at Deb Kastner. Please know that you're in my daily prayers. Love courageously, Deb Kastner. What am I going to give this book? Well, it was a little dry, but there was a lot of paper clips. So that has to be a good strong 7, which is a must read. So there you go. And that's all for tonight. I may see you tomorrow, although again, I'm working the next several days. I got a question about why am I not wearing my glasses when I should be, because, I'm blind as a bat. I don't like to be seen with them. I really don't. But yes, I'm supposed to wear them all the time because we all know I'm this close to bifocals and I'm very vain. I can't wear contacts because I scratched my cornea. So I did that when I was in my 20s. It is what it is. Would I ever have eye surgery? I don't know. I mean, I know I won't have a choice as I get older because it's not going to get any better, right? But we'll just have to see. Anyway, that's the book review. I'll see you again soon. Love ya.